Alright guys, so this is your 41 tutorial, and as I said in the last tutorial, I'm gonna say something for this tutorial, and that is, I think you might probably already read the title, but I'm just gonna tell you how to build your classes in a separate file. So now again, assume the same scenario when you're working in a company and you're working on a very big project. You're having 50 or hundreds of classes, and different persons are working on different classes. And you can't always copy paste all the classes in your main function, and then it's kind of hectic and it produces a lot of problem, right? You have a very long code and you have different classes, and I don't know what problems it will create, but it will create a lot of problems. All right, so just to uh, you know dodge those problems, what you can do is you can create your classes in a separate file. And right now I'm just going to tell you how is that possible. So let me just get rid of this string because we don't need that. And now to create a new class, you just go to file, new, and you click on class. Just enter a class name. Just enter sandwich because that's what I'm on my mind right now. Feeling really hungry. And just click on create. And yes, okay, just click. And now you have two files right here. Now what these two files are? First of all, just get rid of this virtual function. We don't need that, and we don't need the protected thing because I didn't tell you about it. And just get rid of this t constructor because we don't need that, and I literally don't want this comment right here. Alright, so now we are good to go with our class that has a constructor named sandwich because the class name is sandwich, right? Now what these two, this is a header file of your class and this is the main cpp file of your class. Now in the header file, what you do is all your function declarations, all your functions prototypes and all your variable declarations, all of those come in here, and all of your variables initialization and all of your function definitions that go in this cpp file. So the header contains the declaration and prototypes, and the cpp file contains all the definitions. Simple enough. Now what is this? If and if and define. Now what this literally tells your compiler is, if not defined sandwich, then define it. Now if you don't, I mean, if you include a class multiple times, then your compiler won't define it again and again. So if you define it once, then it's just literally telling if it's defined, then don't define it. All right. And this is just a header file that your cp file includes the header file of your class so that it can work with all the prototypes and all that kind of thing. Now first and foremost thing, what you need to do whenever you create a class is just hop over to your cpu file, copy this, and just copy. It isn't here. Let me just press ctrl c and just go here, press ctrl v, and then just copy all these three and just paste it right here. Alright, so just make sure your main.cpp and your sandwich.cpp, they both look same, and you should include this header file in your main program and these iostream and using namespace std in your cpp file of your class. So after you do this, you're good to go. Now here, as I said, you all the prototypes of your function come here. So we just have a constructor, so let's just pass in a value in our constructor, and let's just have one more program function display. I forgot to write the return type. Alright, here it is. And under the private section, I just have a variable in sand. Alright, so if you go to cpp file, remember this operator from the tutorial number 35 or something. This is this scope resolution operator, and we use this to define that this function, this constructor, or any function you write here belongs to this class. So in the constructor, let's just assign the value. So as we passed in a here, so the variable sand that we declared in the header file will initialize it in the .cpp file. Sand equals a, and now to give the definition of the display function, what you do is right, we'll just print out the value of a. So the value is sand and just end in line. Alright, so we programmed our constructor, we programmed our display function, and now let's just hop over to main and build a object. So we already include the header file of sandwich. We just need to build an object right here, and that is sandwich, and let's just name it sandwich object, and let's just call the display function with this. And if we run this, hopefully I won't get any errors, and I got an error. Alright, we need to pass in the constructor values. I just forgot to pass the constructor values, so let's just pass 25, and now it should be good to go. And one more error. Reference and display. Alright, I forgot the return type. I'm getting too many errors today. Finally it ran. So it says value is 25. So in this way you can create your class in a separate file. You have two files, a header file where you prototype all your functions and you declare all your variables, and you have a cpp file in which you give all the definition of your constructor, all your functions, or you initialize your variables in here. So it's pretty simple. Just don't forget to copy this header file into the main and these two lines into here. So just make sure the headers of your CPU file and main CPU file look same, and you'll be good to go. So this was it for this tutorial, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.